Let's go back and talk about your upbringing a bit. So you are of Korean descent. Your grandfather came from Korea and moved to Japan many years ago, and your parents were born in Japan. Did you suffer discrimination growing up in Japan?
Yes, I had some experience, but I feel now it was good. That made me, stronger to work harder. So I had to prove that I am not different from any other guys, not inferior, it's the same. So I had to work harder to prove the value.
Your family adopted a Japanese name at one point.
Well, actually in Japan, there was at some period, Japanese government forced every Korean to change to Japanese name. So it was not their intention. We had to.
You had to change.
Had to change. That made me even more harder because I was feeling that I was hiding something. It was even tougher.
Now, you did not grow up in Tokyo. You grew up in a relatively small town, is that right?
Yes.
In Japan?
Yeah, in the southern
In the southern part of Japan. So at one point it is said that you were very interested in meeting the head of McDonald's in
McDonald's, Japan.
Why were you interested in meeting the head of McDonald's? Did you like McDonald's food, or what was it?
No, he wrote a book, and that book became the bestseller. I was so impressed and said, oh my God, this is great. And the guy who wrote about it must be great.
So how old were you when you wanted to meet him?
16.
16. So you managed to get a meeting with him.
I called his assistant, and long distance call. Back then it was so expensive. I made almost 100 calls, 60 calls, and say, this is my name, I'm a student, and could you ask him to share me some time? And could you ask him? And she said, oh, I will try, but he's not going to meet with a student. I said, well, don't decide by yourself. Let him decide.
Okay.
So I spoke with the assistant, different assistants so many times, and they don't give me the right answer. So I said, okay, this is a waste of my telephone bill. So I flew into Tokyo. And I said, I came because the phone call becoming more expensive than air ticket.
So what happened?
And I said, well, tell him exactly the way I said. You don't have to look at me. You don't have to talk to me. You can keep on working, whatever you are doing. I just want to see his face for 3 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm not bothering him. I'm so impressed and respect him. I want to see him. And if you tell him that I'm not going to bother him, time is money, he says, I'm not going to damage his life. She actually asked. And he said, okay. Actually, he spent 15 minutes with me, talking face to face.
And he gave you some advice, which was to learn.
Yeah, I asked him, what business should I do? Computer. That's the one. If I were you, at your age, at this time of the, don't look at the past industry. Look at the future industry. That's the one, computer industry. That's the one you should focus. If I were you, that's the one. So I said, wow, great.
Okay, so he gave you that advice. So you're number one in your class, and then you go to University of California at Berkeley.
Yes.
But when you were there, I understand you were not being a student so much, you were doing business on the side.
Well, I was a good student. But I said, 5 minutes I would allow other than study. I have to make money. I want to earn $10,000 per month, and I will allow myself, 5 minutes a day. So I asked my friends, isn't it a good job that I can earn $10,000 in 5 minutes a day? My friend said, you're crazy, it's impossible, nothing like that. Do you want to sell drug? So I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I said, okay, what is the best, most efficient use of my time? It's invention. It's invention, and I have to file patent. If I get the patent, 5 minutes, if I focus, I can come some idea. I can make some idea. So I set alarm clock 5 o'clock, 5 minutes. And tick. In 5 minutes, I said, come, invention, come, come, right? So I did that.
And it worked.
It worked.
You invented a machine that helped people translate languages?
Yeah, that one was the electronic dictionary. The first electronic dictionary, many students use electronic dictionary. The first one ever made was by myself.
First electric dictionary.
Yes.
And you sold it to Sharp?
To Sharp.
And you made a lot of money.
Yeah, $1.7 million.
So what did you do with 1.7 million then?
Well, I used to start SoftBank.
Okay, so did you move
But
back?
I did one more project. I made another 1.5 million. So I made 3.2 million in 18 months. So that is better than $10,000 per month.
Right.
I told that to my friend. Look, I got $3.2 million, and I kept working only 5 minutes a day, as I promised you.